first and foremost, I am a journalist. That is what I studied.
Oh yeah.
I am a journalist, and then I am a teacher, and then I was a leader, and then I am a musician. So that's me. About the age, I think you're right that women don't like to say what their age is. I have no problem saying what my age is. I don't know why I don't have a problem with it, but I think it's because I cannot lie to myself. I can't lie to myself. I know I'm 46 years old, so how can I start saying I'm 35? You know,
No, is it something you picked on when you came to Norway?
No.
Or it's been something you freely talked about even before?
I have always been free about my age. My philosophy as far as age is concerned is that it doesn't matter how old I am. It matters what I have done. Okay. So at the end of a year, if I look back and I see, have I helped someone become better? Have I been a good mother to my children? Have I been a worthwhile wife to my husband? And then I have no problem growing old as long as I am actually achieving something.
Purposeful living.
Purposeful living. So when I feel that I have purpose, my life has meaning, then I'm very proud to add a new year to my life. So I don't know, that's just me.
Yes, certainly, maybe one would assume that according to you, as long as you deliver on your purpose and value addition, so then age shouldn't be worried. Maybe those who fear mentioning their age have their own reasons, but I just picked interest in that because you're one of the very few ladies I know who publicly.
I think
you certainly know this.
I think you should be proud of your age, you know. What is the point of hiding your age? Maybe if you're not married and you're trying to hook a man, you know, want to make them think you're younger than you are, maybe then you can hide your age. But I believe even if you're looking for a man, it's not your age that is the big deal. It's the personality. So I think that I could. How old are you, for example?
I'm actually 37.
You're 37.
I made 37 on 6th.
So you are much younger than me. But if you met me and I'm good to you and my personality is nice and maybe I look good, would it matter that I'm 46?
And then it comes in, age is just a number.
Age is just a number.
People say, but don't leave it. Actually, when I saw that somewhere in your social media status, I actually thought maybe it has something to do with you being a Norwegian teacher. That maybe your job compels you to live a little more openly. But anyway, you've...
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I thought. But maybe you've thrown a little more light on that. And
I don't think so. But what's your experience with Norwegian women? Do you find that they easily talk about their age?
I think it depends. I'll say it.
I don't know.
Yes, but I hope a lady out there picks a leaf from you.
Yeah.
Because you've cited out purposeful living, and then what you have to deliver instead of having insecurities about age. Rather, you focus on what purpose you have to put on table to the society. But just away from that, you are a Norwegian teacher, and to be honest, I've never met a Ugandan Norwegian teacher. A Norwegian teacher with a Ugandan background.
I also haven't met any.
Never met any.
So
yes, then we're in the same boat.
Alike, like
we're in the same boat. And as much as I know, you weren't born here.
No.
Or you didn't come here when you were young.
No.
Yes. So what is it that propelled you up the ladder to the level of being a Norwegian teacher? Yet, it isn't one of the popular professions for immigrants.
When I came to Norway, I was 29 years old. I had just gotten married to my husband, which is the reason why I moved to Norway, because he's Norwegian. So we got married. He did not want to live in Uganda, so then I had to move here. So I was a grown woman when I came here, and just like you, I had to go to the language course where I spent 1 year and finished the level 1, 2, and 3 within that 1 year. Then I started working. When I finished level 2 of the language course, I started working among the elderly people. Like
Level
many
2?
of us,
Is that B2?
Nine, that is Noshprove 2.
Noshprove 2?
Yes, that is level 2 because there is Noshprove N, Noshprove 2, and Noshprove 3, which is B1 is the one which used to be called Noshprove 3 before.
Okay.
That was level 3. So, but when you're at level 2, then you're sort of in the middle. So when I was still at that language course at level 2, then I could communicate enough. I started working among the elderly, going home, making them food, cleaning their homes for them, and so on. And then when I finished that level 3, which is B1 now, I worked for about 6 months, 8 months. Then I started studying for level 4, which is B2.
B2.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I wanted to take a master's degree at the university.
Okay.
And you cannot enroll for that without B2. So I did B2, which back then was called Bargains Test. Have you encountered it?
Yeah.
Yes. So I did that, passed it, then enrolled for my master's at the University of Oslo, a master's in journalism, because my bachelor's is also in mass communication. So I started studying, but then I got tired of studying. In the course of studying, I had my firstborn, blah, blah, blah. I got dead tired of school. So then I started looking around for jobs. Called friends, asked, do you know anyone who might need help? So one woman who is married to my husband's friend happened to work at Oslo voksenopplæring Skullerud. She's the librarian there. So when I contacted her, she said, oh, maybe you could come here and work as an assistant.
Assistant teacher?
Assistant teacher, because the school is a language school for foreigners who are coming to Norway to learn the language, but it also has a section where people with disabilities, both cognitive and physical, cognitive disabilities, get to learn about society. So it's not just a Norwegian language school, it's a school for people with disabilities too. So she thought I would work in the section where the people who with disabilities need some assistance.
So you came in as not as a teacher?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't come in as a teacher. I came in as an assistant that's supposed to help the teachers. But what usually happened is you become a replacement teacher, what we call vicar.
Vicar, yeah.
Yes. So when the teacher is sick, then you are the emergency teacher.
So
that's how I started. So I was working with the people with disabilities section of the school. But you see, it's typical that when you start working in a place, then they use you more and more.
Yeah,
so then slowly by slowly, I was suddenly assisting in the Norwegian language classes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
was this backed up with your master's degree in journalism?
You mean, was I studying while working?
Yeah, not that, but did you submit papers to back up your placement as an assistant teacher? Because here you came in not as a teacher, but then there is an opening and you have to be used as an assistant teacher. So were your papers, did they play a role in getting you in?
Yes, they definitely played a role, because I don't think you can teach without having an education. It's not one of those professions where you can just get in and they give you a job.
Yes, okay, I understand, but you had a master's in journalism.
I did not have a master's then. I had a bachelor's.
You had a bachelor's in journalism.
I was studying for my master's.
But master's in journalism?
Yes.
Not a bachelor's or a master's in teaching?
No, I didn't have any of that.
Because then it arouses a bit of curiosity.
I think...
Yeah, because in Norway, as you probably know, it is a society inclined more on specialization.
Yes.
And you must have appropriate documents to fit you somewhere.
That is true. So my education as a journalist only played a role in as much as I could actually how much I could be paid, first of all, because you're paid according to, in this particular school, you're paid according to your level of education.
Yep.
So I was paid as much to the level of a bachelor's degree before I got my master's. When I got my master's, my salary increased to the level of a master's degree holder, but I could never be employed permanently.
As a teacher?
As a teacher.
Okay.
Because
then
you
we're on the
cannot
same
be,
page.
yes, you cannot be employed with that. So as much as I was making the same money as the ordinary teacher, they couldn't give me permanent employment.
And probably delivering the same.
Delivering the same, but they can't give you because there are rules. This is a profession that has its rules, and you have to have the education in order to be employed permanently. So they couldn't pay me, employ me. But I don't think I was doing a worse job because I think employment is very much about personality as much as professionalism. You may have a teacher who is fantastic when you look at their papers, but when they stand before a class, they are a disaster. Because teaching is about understanding your student and connecting with them in order to help them get better.
I totally agree with you.
So being a journalist and having my personality, teaching was easy because I could easily connect with my students. And being a foreigner, I understand the problems of foreigners as far as learning the language is concerned, because I have gone through the same.
Okay, so at the moment, you work as a teacher professional, or you still work with under journalism as a profession, but merging your profession and your personality to work as a teacher?
Well, now I work as a teacher professionally because I went back to school and did a course in pedagogy. Yes. So now I'm a professional teacher.
Okay, yeah, something personally, I'll confess that your path to maneuver through to get to the top, if I may put it that way, I think was based more on personality and grabbing opportunities as they come. Because you came in as a journalist and here you place yourself and then an opening comes in and then you get in and study ahead and then you're professionally a Norwegian teacher. So personally something I must confess that I have to learn and maybe pick a leaf from you or someone out there watching us that it may not be an open path always, but grab that opportunity that is in there.
That's true. I think not only but especially for foreigners, I think jobs are not always an open path. Most people who get jobs do not get them through a job interview. They get them through connections.
That I agree.
Even if they are Norwegians.
Actually, a regular reflection I make that Uganda yoka.
It's not just Uganda.
It is an international standard.
Because how did I get into this place? I called a friend who said, yeah, maybe they need people. I go, but of course, a friend gets you into the door, but you are the one who is make your way there in order to stay. It's like a marriage. You get a ring, but you have to work for it to stick. It's the same with jobs. She got me into the door, but I had to prove my worth while I was there. If I didn't prove my worth, even if you know someone, they still kick you out. So after I worked there, I worked for long without the education of a teacher.
How long did you work?
Many years. I think 10 years, because it's only last year I got permanent employment after I finished the course in pedagogy. But the only reason why I did not get permanent employment is because I hadn't taken the teacher's education, which is a condition. But I was busy raising children, giving birth, blah blah blah. I didn't have the mind to study again. So when I finally couldn't, actually one day the head mistress came to me and said, Annette, this is getting embarrassing. Why don't you take that education so I can employ you? She told me that. Okay,
so but something amazing is you seem to be someone that believes in hanging on and having consistency in what you're doing. 10 years down the road, because you felt you could deliver, you felt you could even maybe much more than professional teachers would, but that didn't stop you. but you still kept on until you got it.
Yeah, you mean me staying on for 10 years
Yeah.
without permanent employment?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge, but I love teaching adults. I cannot teach children, I would kill them.
Okay.
But adults, I mean, you don't have to bring them up. They're already grown up.
Is it about your temperament or something?
I think with children, you need a certain gentility
Okay.
and long sufferingness, and you are actually, you can ruin someone's child. You understand? Whereas adults are already ruined.
Yeah.
You're not ruining anyone. They're already ruined. And there's a lot of upbringing with children. Don't do this, do this, sit down, be quiet and whatnot. You don't have to do that with adults. And I connect much more with adults than with children. So I really have loved working in this setting as a teacher of the Norwegian language. I think I love people.
Okay,
And
but Annette,
Yeah.
assuming I'm just new in Norway,
Yeah.
with without a bachelor's degree, and I would love to work my way up to become a Norwegian teacher. What would it take me?
Oh, now that's a very broad question.
Yeah.
You don't have a bachelor's degree, but what do you have? Do you have any education?
No, I have. Let me say, I have a senior 6 certificate,
If you have a senior
and
6
okay, I
certificate,
feel I need to walk on its path to become a teacher. in
if you
Norway.
have a senior 6 certificate, then you're not very far away from the dream. Because
Take me through it.
yeah, when you have a senior 6 certificate, you can apply as long as you get your papers approved as a senior 6 certificate. In Uganda, it's approved. In Norway, mine was approved. It wasn't a problem. So when it's approved, then you can just join the university to study a bachelor's degree. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, you join the university.
Approving senior 6 papers.
Yeah.
And then you apply
Those
for
are
bachelor's degree.
approved, quite pre-approved. We can safely assume that Ugandan senior 6 certificate is approved in Norway. So you apply to get onto a bachelor's degree in Norway. But before you apply, I think you need to study the language, because most bachelor's degrees in Norway, especially if you're going to be a teacher, are in Norwegian. So then you need at least a year in the language school. So you come here with your senior 6 certificate,
Okay.
go to norskkurs or language school for a year, and when you, after senior 6, you're young maybe, your brain is working, things work fast, you within a year you are done. I was done within a year. Then you can apply for a bachelor's degree at the university or anywhere in Norway.
Okay, what is this thing about Uganda? Of course, what we call high school in Uganda, that it is easier, or it's recommended to go through Uganda first, and then you pick it up to the university.
If you have a senior 6 certificate from Uganda,
Okay.
you have already, because HSC high school is the equivalent of Uganda.
Yeah.
So then you don't need to go to Uganda. You're done with that.
Because I want to assume that
Yeah.
there are very many immigrants or Ugandans out there who are probably seated there with their senior 6 certificates.
Yeah.
And because at one point I got to know that if you have a senior 6 certificate, it is more or less a senior 4 certificate.
No.
If you haven't done, is it called studio competency?
Yeah, but studio competency is what you get from Uganda.
Okay, so one with a senior 6 certificate
Has studio competency.
has studio competency.
Yes.
If you only take your papers, is it NOKUT?
Yes. You
Yes.
hand in your papers to NOKUT, that is NOKUT, which then approves your education. And if they approve your education to be the equivalent of senior 6 in
Norway.
Norway, then you can join a university. Actually, my...
Okay, because
Actually-
the reason I'm really emphasizing this, because I have a huge network out there who are seated with their senior 6 certificates. And the information they have is that a senior 6 certificate is not accredited in NOKUT. That NOKUT only verifies bachelor's
Yeah,
university.
but you see, you might be right. You might be right. So if Nukut does not approve a senior 6 certificate, then the university where you're applying approves it for you. Because that's where mine was approved.
So senior 6 certificate is not a wasted document.
No.
You can still capitalize on it and hope to the university.
Yes, certainly.
Wow.
So what you do when the university portal opens for application, you apply for a course and send in your documentation, as in your senior 6 certificate. And then they'll tell you whether you qualify or not. So it's definitely not wasted. If you've done HSC in Uganda, you have studied competency in Norway.
This information actually, to all of you out there, of course, particularly in Norway, maybe even other countries have similar, a closely similar system. The information that it is giving, in my understanding, I believe it is, she speaks with authority. Because the career guidance we got when we came into Norway was at Voksenopplæring, at the adult language school, where you work. So probably this is exactly your field of expertise. It's actually a pleasure to know that, and I feel someone out there picks something to carry it on.